she doesn't miss you. That's what it feels like. You stop talking. There is distance, no messages, no signs, no effort from her side. And the conclusion is simple. If she missed me, she would reach out. She would show something, but nothing happens. So you assume there is nothing there. No emotion, no attachment, no thought, just absence. And that assumption feels logical because you are measuring everything through action, through visible behavior. If she feels something, she should show it. If she does not show it, it must not exist. But that is not how it works. Not always, because missing someone does not come from presence. It comes from absence. And most men never create that properly. Before the distance, you were always there. Available, consistent, predictable. She did not have to think about you. You were already present in the interaction, in the messages, in the rhythm, and because of that, there was no gap, no space, no contrast. No reason for her to feel your absence. You are already filling it completely, and when there is no absence, there is nothing to miss. This is the part most men get wrong. They think more presence creates more attachment, but too much presence removes contrast. It removes tension. It removes curiosity. It removes the natural question of what happens when you are not there, because everything is already known, already available, already predictable. And predictability reduces emotional movement, not immediately, but over time, because there is nothing new to process, nothing to think about, nothing unresolved, and emotion grows in what is unresolved, not in what is fully available. So when you disappear slightly, when you step back, when the interaction slows down, something changes, not immediately, not visibly, but internally. The first thing she feels is the difference before you were always there. Now you are not completely gone, but less present, less predictable, less guaranteed. And that gap creates awareness. She notices it. Why is it different? Why does it feel quieter? Why is the interaction not the same? And that question is what starts the process. Then comes recognition. She realizes you are not as available, not as predictable, not as constant. And that creates a shift in attention because attention follows change, not stability, not repetition, change. And now you are no longer background. You are something she has to think about, not constantly, but more than before. And this is where it starts, not missing yet, but awareness. Then comes disruption. Her usual pattern breaks. She expects something and it does not happen. She expects your presence and it is not there. And that creates a small tension, not emotional yet, but cognitive. Something is different. Something is unresolved, and unresolved things stay in the mind. They repeat, they come back, they create focus, and that focus is what slowly turns into emotion. Then comes reflection. She starts replaying things, moments, conversations, your behavior, your tone, your presence, how you made her feel, not because she is trying to, but because now there is space for it. Before, everything was happening in real time. No need to think, no need to revisit. Now there is a gap, and the mind fills it. And that is where emotion begins to build, not from interaction, from reflection. And reflection is where missing starts. But here is the problem. Most men interrupt this stage. They feel the silence, they feel the distance, and they react. They reach out, they send something, they try to reconnect, because doing nothing feels like losing. But in doing that, they remove the gap, they remove the space, they remove the process, because now everything is active again, present again, predictable again. And when something is always present, it cannot be missed. So they keep repeating the same cycle. They stay present. Nothing builds. They step back, something starts. They return too early and it resets again and again without understanding why. There is another layer here that makes this even clearer. Missing is not just emotional, it is comparative. She compares how it felt when you were there to how it feels when you are not. And if that difference is noticeable, emotion appears. If there is no difference, nothing happens. And most men never create that difference clearly enough. They reduce effort slightly, but stay available. They step back a little, but remain predictable. They are still present enough to prevent the feeling from forming. So nothing builds. And they conclude that she does not miss them. But in reality, the condition was never created. There is also a harder truth. Not every absence creates missing. If there was no real connection, no emotional impact, no genuine interest, then absence changes nothing. She does not miss you because there is nothing to miss. And that is where reality becomes clear. Not when you are present, but when you are not. Because absence reveals truth, not effort, not attention. Truth. If she moves toward you, something is there. If nothing happens, there was nothing holding it. And that clarity is more valuable than any temporary reaction. But most men avoid it because it removes illusion. It removes hope. It removes the idea that something might be there when it is not. So they stay active, stay present, stay engaged, and never find out what is real. So when you think she does not miss you, look at what you actually created. Did you create absence? Or did you just reduce effort slightly while still staying present? Did you create a real gap or just a small shift that changes nothing? Because missing requires contrast, a clear difference, a real absence, not a partial one. And that is where most men fail. They never fully step back. They stay close enough to prevent the feeling from building and then conclude that it does not work. But it was never tested properly. So if you want to understand if she misses you, you have to allow that process to happen without interrupting it, without controlling it, without forcing a response. Because the moment you try to create it, you destroy it. Missing cannot be forced. It can only emerge. And it only emerges when there is space for it. Real space, not partial, not controlled, not interrupted. And most men never leave that space long enough to see what actually happens when they finally do.